let's measure this bed. Hold that against the inside right there. That is 62 inches wide. Measurement on the, let's go ahead and get some measurement between wheel wells too. It's going to be about 50 inches. Right. Let's go. So I went down here to Tractor Supply. They've got everything we could possibly need. And from having these before, don't fool with these manual pumps. You know, they're fast, but you've got the choices of these two. I've had this one, and I ended up putting that handle on it, the auto shut off. So my advice to you guys, between, well, I've got a good little price on it today, but the usual price is $329, between $329 and $419, and you get everything. Everything's already installed, power cord and everything. Just go ahead and get one of these. First thing that we've put in here is, this is a heavy, it's about a 1/2 inch rubber. It's a stall mat. It's what you put in horse stalls for padding. They're anti-skid, and they'll absorb some of the shock of this tank in the back of this bed. And this 4 foot wide, 3 foot deep fits perfectly under this tank, and it also fits perfectly between my fender wells. So I'm putting it down first for this tank to set on. Once we get about 500 or 600 pounds worth of fuel in this tank, it's not going to slide anywhere. This may be obvious to most people, but when you cut these ends, it's fine. But there is rubber hose and wiring in here, so what I'll do is I'll just nick this top, and then that'll pull open. You don't have to drag a razor blade down through here. Let's see what kind of goodies we've got in here. This is the pickup tube right here. Screw these together. So this is a pretty deep tank. See, it telescopes to fit any size of a tank. Let's go ahead and put some Teflon on this, just to be doing. Now, on everything in this guy that is threaded, so that might be deep enough. Let's just check. Oh yeah, see, we don't need that extension, because that's going to be plenty long enough to reach down in this tank. Once we've got the pump put on here and the threads down, this telescoping tube can actually slide down. All of the stuff in this kit is a right-handed thread, which means when we're going to thread this into something, you spin it clockwise to the right and around. So what you want to do is turn it up, and in the direction that you're going to spin this, you just put your Teflon tape on in that direction, and that way when you're threading this on, it keeps tightening the Teflon tape. If you did it backwards, it would actually pull the tape off of the threads. Teflon tape is just kind of a rubbery like tape. It's very thin, just like that. What I'll do is I'll kind of crumple it here and just start it, overlap it over itself like this, so it'll hold, and then it'll fan itself out. Just hold it straight with the threads like this and just spin it. It doesn't take a whole lot of this stuff to seal, but it helps make a liquid tight seal on your threads. And we're going to do this with every single one of these threaded components. And once it's on there, just take your hand and just thread it in, and you can see how those that Teflon fills in between those threads. So for this small of a tank, we don't need this part. That's just an extension. I'm gonna set our Teflon to the side because we're gonna need it. Here's our handle. If you don't know what one of these is, you've got a problem. This is the same kind of a handle that you have at the pumps at any gas station. Man, is that thing in there? We're not gonna need this bag, so let's just take him off. This is an auto cut-off handle. Now, a lot of these that come with the cheaper kits, if it doesn't have this blue, if it's just a metal handle, more than likely, it's not an auto cut-off. It may have a latch, but it's not an auto cut-off. So, double check that when you buy one of these kits, because if you leave this thing running and walk away, you're going to end up pumping a bunch of fuel out onto the ground. This is our hardware for this kit. Now, even though the pump itself is wired in, the wires don't have the ends on it. Because some people want to use alligator clips that just clip onto a battery and you take them off and on, but we're actually going to wire this directly to the battery on the truck. So we've got to wire these ends on so we can put them over the posts of the battery. Also, they provide you with an inline fuse, and this is red, so that helps you determine that this and your fuse should always go in line on the positive wire. Positive is usually red, black when it comes to DC is your negative or your ground. So both of these threads, this converts it from a 2-inch inlet to the thread size that goes to the pump itself. We're going to put Teflon on both ends of this. Now some tapes like this are not made for petroleum based liquids, so just make sure that you get the right stuff. Here's about 3 or 4 rounds with this stuff is sufficient. Okay, so righty. Now this is going to be righty. So you got to turn this around like this. Lay your Teflon on here. And just start spinning. Now, it's easy to want to spin this round and round, which works. But I've found if you'll just hold this and put your thumb in here, put them right against each other, and you just spin it. And keep tension on this Teflon tape. You don't want it to just lay in there without any kind of tension on it. It helps it stay put. And again, just take your hand lightly, spin along your threads. Just like that. Alright. So we can get our ends on here. This is your electrical ends. They're already pre-cut, so you just gotta, instead of just pulling these off, just go ahead and twist them. That way you don't stick your finger with one of those wires. So just twist it as you pull that off, and then you can twist it some more. Get it good and tight threaded. Same thing with this one. Go ahead and give it a couple of twists. Pull it off, but twist as you pull it off so you don't pull your wires back out straight. Now, if I had a wiring tool, I could use it to strip this, but this will work just fine. Now, if you're using a razor blade to strip wire, you'll feel it make kind of a rough feel once you get through the wire. And don't bear down too hard, just rock your blade back and forth. And you'll be able to bend this. See the wires? Just bend it like that. Then go ahead and twist, same thing as you did just a minute ago. And twist and pull. Some wires are copper colored, some of them are just silvery, but they're compatible. Don't feel like you can't put these together. Same thing here. I'm just rocking this blade back and forth. You don't even have to saw. You don't have to saw a razor blade typically. Give them a few twists. Bend it to pull that insulation away. Twist and pull. Just like that. Now, since this goes on your positive to positive, you're going to wire it straight together. Now, coming with this pump, they send one of these. It's an electrical connector that we're going to use to splice in that fuse. So with this twisted, you push this in all the way. There's a little stopper down in the middle of this that keeps you from going too far. And twist it just a few times here. I couldn't find my actual wire crimpers, so pruners will have to work for now. I'm gonna end up taping all this anyway. That'll work. Now we got this. Same thing, you're just gonna stick it right in here and crimp it down. Actually, I want to use these. Sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got. I'm gonna open these up to where they crimp down. I'm gonna push this on here, hold it in place. There we go. Just an extra little squeeze here. We're gonna give this side an extra squeeze. Anything that's gonna pinch that, but not pinch it all the way back, you want it to pinch ahead here, and that way it holds good, just like that. So we're gonna get our hose out. I'm gonna wrap these hose ends with the Teflon tape. Same thing. You're looking down the threads, you want to go to the right. Now this time we will have to just take our time and spin around, because it's going to be hard to spin that hose. I could if I wanted to go ahead and mount that pump, but just whichever way gets the job done, just do it. I'm going to just squeeze right there. Same thing with this other end. There you go. Take this pump out carefully. There's always a plug right here, and a plug, there's a plug here and here. There's really not much way to get them mixed up. So turn your pump upside down. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the ends on these as well. Alrighty. These also come with the kit. These are your battery terminal ends. You're just going to take them. See how that wire got, you may not be able to see it, but the wires got pulled away. Just take them and twist your fingers together. Take this here. Make sure the metal's connecting. Now what we're going to do is grab it. Now it is best to use wire crimpers, but I just don't know where mine are at right now, so we're going to use this. Get them on there and squeeze it hard. Give it a test tug. It's not coming off. Do the negative in the same way. Oh. Slide that right on there. Give it a twist. Give him an initial squeeze. Now both hands. Squeeze it real good. I'll check him. That's on there. That ain't going nowhere, is it, Emma?
No.
So we got our ends on. We've got a fuse in there that's good, 25 amp. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this cord out and hook it up to the battery and make sure that this pump turns on. You don't want to run one of these pumps very long at all without fluid running through them. Now I'm just going to hook these terminals over the ends. Just going to hold these wires in place. We're just going to flip this on. We got power, so that pump works. Now, before we add any more weight to this tank, by putting that heavy little pump on, we're gonna go ahead and lift this tank up onto this mat. All right, Emmy? I'm gonna lift and you're gonna push. Ready? When I tell you to, okay? Push. Good girl. Now, and when I say push, push. Hey, push. Good. Push again. 1, 2, 3. Good. Let's go again. Oh, he's heavy, ain't he? 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. 1, 2, 3, push. Good girl. Let's push it on up. 1, 2, 3. Man, it's heavy, ain't it? It's a big tank for this little truck. I'm gonna push him on back. Careful. There. Now. Okay, we're good. We are good, baby. Now that thing's in place. Let's see. Am I getting out from behind? It's there. Needs to come this way just a hair. There, that'll do. All right, let's put the pump on. Get that, see that blue handle? To the left of that, get that silver threaded. See the razor blade? Look right in front of you. That's a razor blade right in front of that. That thing, yep. Bring it to me. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Will you grab me those pliers down there? These threads are not always real good and clean and smooth, so. There we go. Good. Thank you, baby. Can you grab that pump and set it up on the tailgate?
That blue pump?
No, this pump over here. Now we're going to open this up and we're just going to snug this down. Just like this. I want my cap. I'm going to snug this down real good. Can't lift it? I'll help you in a second. Alright, that's on there. I used to leave this part about that high from the bottom of the tank because they just put little bitty grooves in them. But they've put big grooves in these now. So we'll be able to just extend it all the way out and shove it all the way down in the tank and let it rest straight on the bottom. We're just going to take this. And be careful because this is plastic. You mess those threads up, you're just sunk. So just put this on hand tight. Doesn't have to be super tight. That Teflon tape will seal. Just as tight as you can get it by hand. Alright, now what I'm going to do is, since it's telescopes, just pull it all the way up. Now we're getting somewhere. Now all we've got to do is take the pump, put it down in here. Right there. Double check, make sure that that's gonna be good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's the perfect length. Just gonna set it down on here. Now what I like to do is spin these threads backwards until I feel it seat. Just like that. Then righty-tighty. Can you hand me my pliers, baby? We just tighten this thing down. I think we about got it, baby. Now this pump's going to want to rotate with this collar, so once I get it close to snug, I'm going to move it this way, and then grab this collar. That's a big collar. This tight. So we're going to tighten him down. See how that pump's turning with it? That sucker's on there. Now I'm just going to pull that where I want it straight, nice and even. There's no way for this tank to bounce and hit my glass. So now we're just going to drop this. Let's see. I think we can actually take it over that way. And then you want to drop this over the side of the truck bed rail there.
And you did.
We're just going to let this drop down under here. Take the pliers. Well, that ain't wanting to work, is it, Emmy? Spin it out. All right. Can you go grab me the hose? That thing got hot in the sun, didn't it?
That's why I'm putting it over here in the thing.
All right, now, the only way to do this is to do it. There's not, man, that thing got hot in that sun. Spin that whole hose, baby. No, don't touch it. It'll burn your hands. I'll get it. Just spin the whole hose. Now, use our handy pliers here. Don't over tighten this. It doesn't need to be super duper tight. That sucker is on there. I'm moving right along now. Now this is threaded here and it's threaded in there. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Get it started. Well, this one you can just keep spinning the handle. You don't really need a wrench. You can hand tighten it, but at the same time, it won't really hurt too. Give a little extra torque to it. And keep your tools handy first time you fill this sucker up, because you may have an end or a fitting part that is a little bit loose. Now we can just coil this up back here in the corner out of the way. Some people put them over top of this. And there it is, just like that. Now my battery is on the driver's side of the truck under the hood in the engine compartment. So I brought my wire between the bed and the cab. I'm just going to slide it right down through there. And now I'm going to go under the truck and find good places to zip tie that power to route it up to the battery. I don't really mind to get dirty, but I'm not going to ask for it. Now, what I'm going to do before I start zip tying, I'm going to go ahead and run the terminals all the way to the battery just to make sure they'll reach. Let's get under here and see what we've got to work with. It's like a brand new truck under here, doesn't it? Now let's see. Got a air fuel rail through here, but there's not any zip tie points really. Let's see. It goes right up through there. What I'm looking for is where they've routed other stuff anyway. Let's just go on under here. I could go up and over through there with the fuel line. Don't really like. Right through there's a good spot, but there's a lot of heat when we go through that. I think I found my path. So now we've made it to here. Sometimes it's easier to look down in there and find a spot to come by Right down through there, I think, is where it's going to be our best bet. All up in this thing. Perfect. There. Just enough cable. And I mean just enough. Now that we've got our ends on top of your battery, most people know this, but if you don't, you'll have a plus and a minus. The plus is for your red wire. The minus, which is negative, is for your black wire. Most of these battery connections have several different ones. And what I'm going to do is back these terminal nuts off. See if it's going to come all the way off here. Oh yeah. You got, like I say, you've got several different places you can connect to. But since we've got an inline fuse, we can pretty well take our pick. Oh, that's a lock right there. So let's just go ahead and find us another one to hook to. Well, find us another one. Getting windy, and man, does it feel good. Let's see. Use this one. I always hook my positive line up first, then my negative, and when I'm unhooking, I unhook my negative first, then my positive. Other people may have a different way of doing it. That's just how I like to do it. So I'm going to put this wire right down over that, put my flange nut back on. This is easy stuff. After you do this one time, it's cake from then on. Let me make sure my pump's off. The pump is off, so we shouldn't have any sparkage or anything. We may have. Nope, no sparks. So I'm just going to hook onto this negative right here. Just loosen the nut and then use your fingers, and that way you don't lose that nut. And anyway, I'm going to tuck this down here so we don't ever have a short out. Just snug this back down. It don't have to be real super tight. Now I'm going to double check, make sure there's nothing down in here for this stuff to get tangled around. Everything looks good. All these wires are snug. They're not going to slip out. Now, I'm going to do this one-handed as best I can. I like starting back here. Well, this is just a body frame mount. Just take these and just like that. And another mount just ahead. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so bear with me. Pull it tight between, pull your slack toward the point you're trying to do. And just pull your zip tie good and tight. I like working from the pump toward the battery, pulling all this stuff into place. Here's our last zip tie. We are wired in, negative, positive. Now we're just going to double check. We're ready for fuel. These are cool. They've got a place for a lock too, where you can lock that handle in. Now let's strap this tank in. Y'all thought I wasn't going to secure it, didn't you? All right. There'll be some people lose their minds over me strapping this tank in, but back when I had a hot shot truck, I had a 50-gallon tank, and I had it two pieces of angle iron welded to the frame of my truck, and that was it. I had a big tank. That big tank strapped down for thousands and thousands of miles. Never budged. And another reason that I'm strapping this down is because I want to be able to easily change this out from one vehicle to another, or move it from truck to trailer. That is why. I'm using green because, one, it won't stand out. I could use black, so you couldn't even tell this is strapped down and it looks permanently mounted, but I want to be able to look at this strap every time I stop and see that it's secured and in place where I intend for it to be. I secure and change strap stuff all day, every day. If I didn't feel good about doing this way, I wouldn't do it. So it's right against the front bed. I'm gonna leave just a little bit of slack so my straps can cam over. And you don't have to just tighten the dickens out of this. Pull the slack out of it for sure. That guy ain't going anywhere. I'm putting one strap across it, and then I'm gonna do another strap around the front of it. And both of them, I'm hooking to the anchors. I'm not gonna hook strap hook to strap hook on this one, which I have done before, but I don't want to do this one that way, for one thing, because I don't want to, and two, if one strap breaks, you're not going to lose both of your securement points. It would be a big project. Now, if I was doing this on like a service bed, and I knew that I'd just be changing truck cab and chassis out, then it would be a different story as far as whether I was mounting this differently or the same way. Now this is more of a placeholder, this bottom strap. It's going to just hold everything. That sucker's secure. I feel really good about it. Now I'm just going to tie my ends. Not just flap it in the wind. And there it is. One mounted, secured, wired, ready to use auxiliary fuel tank that is easily removed. I know there's a blue million of us out here that are doing this kind of work that have these tanks. I've had a couple of these now, and I always enjoy having them. The only reason I had to get this new one is because my last truck, I sold it, and I let the tank and pump and everything go with it. Made the sale easier. So you guys drop it in the comments. Tell me how you've done this, how you would have done this particular job differently. You know, tell me what you like about the way I did it, what you disliked about the way I did it. And more than likely, I'll see something in the comments that I could have done differently, that we may do another video of me changing about this setup. You just about have to have one of these, at least the fuel tank, to do this kind of work if you're going to be on a job multiple days. This is the first one I've had that's got the toolbox on it. I'm really excited about having that. I did end up going and getting a little wiring kit to really crimp the wires and do them right. One of that little yellow piece, it didn't crimp good and the wire came loose, so I was like, okay, I need to go get me some crimpers to keep with me on this setup. So now I'll have wiring kits on all trucks. This is the first little addition that's going to go in this toolbox. And that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. And above all, comment, whether one way or another. It helps me in, you know, the YouTube algorithm to get out there, and your comment will make a difference in somebody's life. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.